All right, here we go again. Apparently, Thursday night. What am I going to wake up to? They're talking about another foot of snow starting at 1 a.m. into Friday. Joy. Oh well, it's a little thing we call winter here in Zone 5. You get used to it after a while. Got all the gas cans topped off for the generator. You know what happened to me last time with that ice storm. Topped off the car. Everyone at work was, get gas, get gas. You know, the whole Russia-Ukraine thing is hitting the fan right now. So, topped off with gas. Grabbed a few things for the house, coffee. But I got some work to do. That's another thing. I got a little PTSD on the power outages because the internet goes, and I have work to get out the door. So I'm going to try to do that tonight. Hence, nice quick supper tonight, but kind of a comfort foodie thing for the upcoming storm. I get in that mode. No time to make like a big pot of chili or a stew or anything, but this will be comforty. So let's find out. Let's go see what it is. And I did some of the prep. We're not going to go over to the board or anything because I just want to get things into the pan and get moving. So we'll just start right at the stove. Let's head over. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, as I mentioned, this is going to be total improv. Let's get the stove on. And it's also a great thing. I'm using up a bunch of stuff in the house. Extra virgin olive oil. Get that heated up. I'm going to go in with some carrot and celery, right? Kind of like a faux mirepoix. Now, normally this would have onions too. But again, I had 2 carrots in a bag that I wanted to use up. I got a new bag of carrots just the other day. So I wanted to use those 2 strays. The celery's, you know, almost shot. So it's a good way to just get rid of it, okay? So just olive oil, a little carrot and celery. It's in big chunks because I'm going to be taking it out, okay? Oh, there's a couple of garlic cloves in there too. I wanted to save those, but they're all right. They're okay in there. We use new ones. You'll see the next stage. They're not going to hurt anybody, okay? So let's go with a little bit of pepperoncini. Give this a little bit of a kick. A little more. I like spice. All right. While that starts to come up, let's talk about these. Cozze, right? Mussels. I love mussels. Now, I've done more than one clam episode. Same process. I got home. I put them in here with ice cold water, a little bit of cornmeal, and I let them sort of feed out. Walked the dog, took care of the chickens, so they're, you know, good hour or so. Then I rinsed it. I dumped that water, rinsed them with fresh water, dumped that, fresh water. This way sand, all that cornmeal, it's all gone. And I also got rid of all the ones that were open. You don't want dead mussels in there. And I checked the shells, okay? So let's get that water out. These guys are all good ones. We're going to shell these for this dish, so we're not going to eat them in the shell. This is not like cozze al vapore. They steam mussels. I eat them right out of the shell. We're just going to steam them open, but very key, we want that broth. Vino bianco, okay? A nice white wine. Between the white wine and the juice that comes out of those mussels, we're going to have a beautiful broth to strain out. So let's cover this up and just wait until they open. All right, just like with our clams, we don't want to overcook these, and they're going to go back into the dish. So as they begin to open, one by one, going to take them out. I want to make sure all that great mussel juice is in the pot. So I take them down like that. They're pretty much all opening at the same time, so I can keep the lid off. If there's any stragglers at the end, we'll put the cover back on, and then if they don't want to open, then they're just history. They're no good. If they're open when you get them, they're goners. If they don't open, they're goners. But these are all looking good though. So let's just yank them. Save that juice. All right. I'll get them all out, and then we'll strain off this juice. All right, here we go. There's our mussels in the back. We'll let those cool down because we want to pick them out of the shell. Too hot right now. So while we're waiting for that, let's take our broth, strain it real well. I use this strainer and this super fine strainer. Okay. Get it all in there. Veggies will go in the compost. Chickens will be picking at those. And here's our broth. I'm gonna have to have a little nip of that. Let me get a little cup. This is nectar from the gods. When we were kids, my uncle would do steamed mussels. You'd put a little in an espresso cup. Oh, my favorite. You also put a little butter in there. It's delicious. Okay, so let me get rid of the veg now. We're going to use the same pot. Compost. Now in this pot, some fresh olive oil. Not too much, because I'm going to go with a little bit of butter. You heard me. A little bit of butter. Okay. And now while that's warming up, let's put in our fresh garlic cloves. These are just smashed. Remember, 10-15 minutes ago, we want to develop that out, that health promoting Allison. And I just smash them and I keep them big like that because they're going to come out. This is going to be a silky, smooth sauce. So I'm just going to want to get these toasty golden. They will get yanked. And let's see, what do we have up on the counter here? Let's go with a little mussels demand fresh parsley. And remember this episode, the very first episode of Come On In My Kitchen, 001, this gadget. We do have some nice parsley growing on the windowsill, but we're going to use this while it's still good. Let's go with a little bit of thyme. Okay, and you saw this in the other episode. These are going to come out too, so I just pull a bunch, throw it in. If the leaves stay in the sauce, that's fine, but I'll pull the stems out. And, oh, what a great smell. All right, our garlic and olive oil with a little butter and thyme. Let's go. I'll give up a little more of my Vino Bianco to this. Why not? Can always get a refill. And now, I told you this is also a sort of a fridge cleaning dish. Originally, I pulled out a can of tomato paste. Thankfully, I didn't open it, because when I went in the fridge, I realized I still have a little of this tomato juice left. Did a few Bloody Marys last weekend. I'm going to go with tomato juice, believe it or not. This is an improv. Not all of it. Just a touch with the white wine. And now we're going in with our gorgeous nectar, right? The mussel juice with the white wine, aromatics, strained out nice and clean. Nice. All right, I think it's time for a taste. We still have to season. Oh man, oh that's gonna be so good. And guess what, those big garlic cloves, I did not even come close to burning them. But if you get that right toast on them, man, damn. All right, we're gonna let that cook down. We wanna reduce it a little. So a little salt. Just a pinch, we'll check it at the end. Cracked pepper, essential. And since we're here, let's go with a little, just a touch of the dried oregano. Very subtle, very small pinch in the background, okay? Let's see what we got here. Seasoning. Gorgeous. That's going to reduce down tremendously. So let's lower the heat. I will pick out all the mussels while that reduces, and I will see you right back here. Okay, this is, I picked out all the mussels. After you cook about 1 billion or so mussels in your life, you get to the point where you know just when they open when to pull them out. You want them underdone because we're going to cook them in this sauce a little bit. Okay, but if they're too underdone, you can't get them out of the shell as a solid piece. So those are perfection. Let me slide up here. Got a little water in the back there. Let's put some salt in. Yes, I said comfort food. The reason for this sauce, the reason for the mussels tonight. 2 episodes ago, I made the garganelli, fresh pasta. Whenever I make pasta, whether it's ravioli, lasagna sheets, garganelli, there's always some left over. And what I do is I run it through the cutter on the pasta machine. There's 2 cutters. There's a very thin one, almost like a cappellini type, spaghetti type blade. And then there's like a tagliatelle blade, okay? So, and what I do is I run it through there. I put it on the marble board on a nice floured surface, so, and sort of clump them up with flour so they don't stick. And I make little individual nests, right, for a portion. So see, there's 1, there's 2. So we're going to use one of these, pop another one back in the freezer, and they're going to go in the water right from that frozen state. Don't thaw it out. It'll get gummy on you. Okay, same with ravioli. Once they're frozen, they're going to go right in. But in the meantime, got my strainer again. I cleaned it out nicely. So let's go into this sauce. Take out the garlic cloves, the stems of thyme. I want kind of a silky thing going on here. They've imparted their goodness to our sauce. Olive oil, butter, garlic, white wine, tomato juice, and our incredible broth from steaming those mussels open with carrot, celery. Onion would have been nice, but I don't think we're going to miss it too badly. All right, there we go. Like I said, the thyme leaves are just floating around. They're fine. So let's get some parsley in. You don't even need to chop. Just tear a few leaves. Remember, we're going to put fresh on the dish, but let's cook a little in. Our water's going already. Nice hard boil. And now while we're getting ready to drop the pasta, here's how I'm going to finish this sauce. Like I said, it reduced down really nicely. It's got an intensified flavor. I'm going in with a little bit of whole milk. Make like a pink kind of a sauce. And also richen up the flavor a little. Richen up, is that a word? It's richen up the flavor. It'll make the flavor richer. And I'm doing this by kind of by color. No set amount. Totally just winging supper tonight, you guys, with this snowstorm on the way. Oh man, the milk is, any of these pink tomato sauces, I just love them. That is delightful. And I think, having tasted it, I can go in with a little bit more pepper. Because I love cracked pepper. And maybe just a couple of grains more of salt. Tomato likes salt. Tomato juice, tomato sauce, it likes its salt. So, before we drop the pasta and the mussels, let's give it a final taste. Oh, I'm so freaking psyched. Okay, so let's take our little nest of tagliatelle straight from the freezer. Pop it in. Remember, that's going to cook. Not like the garganelli, I said 1 minute. That's frozen, so maybe, I don't know, 3. And while that's happening, let's get our little pasta fork here. So we can kind of, yeah, look, it's already soft. So let's get our mussels in. That's where we're going to finish them up, right in the sauce. They'll come to final al dente without being overcooked. I already know what the sauce tastes like, but I can't help it. The anticipation is getting to me. You know what I'm going to add? A few more flakes of the pepperoncini. Make it almost like a sort of a fra diavolo. Bring on the snowstorm. Okay, let's check our pasta. It is fresh pasta. We still want al dente. Let's take one. Ooh, that's hot. Woo! Yeah. That one got lost to attrition. Couldn't hold it. Okay, yep. Still a little tight in the middle. Let's give it another minute. Okay, now fresh pasta, even more so than dried, I think, has that absorbability. So let's throw it right in the pot here and let it soak up some of that beautiful sauce. And then we'll plate it up. Turn off the water burner. All right. Let me crank the heat a little. I like to give it a good, when the pasta's in the sauce, especially a wet, liquidy kind of sauce like this, I like to give it a good real heat blast. Almost bring it, not quite to a boil, but get some action going in there. See that? I figure those bubbles will kind of like push their way into the pasta. You can still bathe in there for another minute. While that's happening, get a few more parsley leaves ready to garnish on top. You know what? That final taste of pasta, I think I can go a little more salt. I keep it light in the beginning. I barely salt at all. You want to do it towards the end. Because if you salt too much in the beginning and then you reduce the sauce, then you're too salty. All right, let's pop the heat off. Get this in our bowl. Some mussels. Probably better off with the tongs for this. There we go. Making a mess on the bowl, but there's always cleanup. My old pal Millie Vanilli made fun of me on another episode. because I have no handle on my ladle, I tend to get attached to things. What can I tell you? I've had this thing for, it's got to be close to 40 years now. Sauce, mussels. Let's hit the board. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Let me go with a little cleanup on the bowl. Eat with eyes, grasshopper. Take some of this fresh parsley. Just tear it right on. All right, I'm going in. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Start with a little pasta with the sauce. Al dente. Mussels. For a Thursday night throw together before a snowstorm, this is banging. Mussels and a tomato cream sauce with white wine. Wow. Bring on the snow. After this, I'm happy. By the way, Chardonnay. I rarely drink Chardonnay, but once in a while, I break down and switch it up, and when I do, it's total enjoyment. I love it. So, that's it, man. I got to get a bunch of work done, but first I'm going to finish this bowl of pasta. And we'll see you for the next episode. Come on, let's do it.
Come on.